can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I feel like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Wise.
Dr. Jeremy Weiss here. I'm founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders like the founders of P90X, Baby Einstein, Atari, and many more, and how they overcome big challenges in life and business. So I was chatting with a friend, colleague, Dan Fagella, and asking him what other great guests I should have on, and he wrote to me, Amit has some pretty insane experiences in scaling a company, $11 million business in something like 2 to 3 years, and he's been nice to me and helped me grow my business over the last several months. Today we have Amit Mehta. He's founder of BUST software that he grew from 0 to $11.6 million within 3 years. He wrote the book From 0 to $12 million to Bust. I hardly, like when I was reading that chapter, I was like, wait, is this Bust thing right? And the subheadline, which I love, is Inc. 5000 CEO reveals how to avoid these 9 hidden traps that can destroy your business. At the end, he'll tell you where you can either buy it, or he's actually generous enough to give it away for people to read it because it's so valuable. You know, and before the call, he just casually mentions, oh yeah, I had this $6 million blogging business, by the way, and he also co-founded 10xgrowthhacker.com, where he runs growth hacking workshops showing startups how they scale growth through unorthodox marketing strategies. Amit, thanks for joining me.
Great to be here, Jeremy. Thanks for having me on. The challenge was decisions we made a year ago were coming back to haunt us. Because when you have, the bigger your company gets, the more delay there is on decision making. So like when you have a $10 million company, a decision you make now will come back and bite you in the ass 18 months from then. So there's a delayed effect. So what happened in 2013, we're rolling in money and you're like, hey, my business partner decided, hey, let's take a bunch of money out of the company and buy homes. We started paying ourselves like massive distributions. We thought, hey, we made it. This gravy train's going to go on for years. Let's enjoy a little, you know? We worked hard for all these years. Let's
Sounds
take some
good.
money out.
Yeah.
And so I bought a house. My business partner bought a house. And we just took probably like $1 million a piece out of the company that year. And so what happened was, you know, obviously the sales plunged at the end of the year because we lost that one source. And they plunged so badly that we had to take all the savings that we had saved for taxes to make payroll and cover invoice payments.
Wow.
To the point, come next April, we didn't have enough money to pay for taxes.
Wow.
So we had to borrow $600,000 from the bank.
Wow.
Personally guarantee it to make our tax payments. So what happened was, and then the bank was like, you know, you screwed up, you took too much money out of the company, you jeopardized, you basically like gutted your company, and so we're going to make you pay this back in a 10-month period.
Jeez. So
$60,000 a month.
I'm surprised they even gave you the money.
Yeah.
Actually.
I'm surprised they gave you the money too. So $60,000 a month. We were running we had good months, and then we had like some weird shit happen in 2014. Like we had a super affiliate who was doing 300 sales a day. He suddenly disappeared. He got banned by Google. Apparently he was doing some things that were violating Google's terms of service. We found out about it, and by the time we found out about it, he got banned by Google. We lost all those sales.
Wow.
And then what else happened? Yeah, so we hired an agency to handle our AdWords account. And this is all while we're if we hadn't had to pay the $60,000 a month and had these weird shit happen, we would have been fine.
It could be your partner calling because he's off the train.
It's one of my clients.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell him I couldn't make it. So anyway, so we had $60,000 a month. So we're barely like breaking even, paying the $60,000 a month to the bank. Lost one of our major affiliates, so we took a little bit of a dip there, and hired this agency that told us, hey, we're going to handle your AdWords account, no problem, you're going to be in good shape. They wrecked our AdWords account and drove our spend up to $30,000 a day with no additional sales.
Whoa.
Luckily, I caught it right away.
Jeez.
And so basically, it was a $100,000 train wreck. Because I had to spend $70,000 to get the Google account back to profitability because I rebuilt the whole thing from scratch. And the way you build like a Google account, like you have to lose money in the beginning to kind of get the good placements. And so we lost $100,000 there. Lost a bunch of money because we lost his affiliate because he did some stupid shit and got banned by Google. I don't even know if it was our account because he had like 20 different accounts. So I think he was doing something shady on some other account, and they banned all of his accounts.
Wow.
He's like promoting like toolbars on another account that was connected to our account, and so they pretty much shut him down.
Jeez.
So that happened, and on top of paying $60,000 a month. And then we're okay, so we had to, I think we had to borrow some money from one of our vendors. We borrowed some money, and then we reformulated our strategy. We're like, okay, we need to go international. That's where the opportunity is. So we did a little pivot, and we shifted our efforts to doing international. We had some other channels that were starting to improve, so we were on the upswing. And that was around October. And then in November, we got sued by the Federal Trade Commission.
Add fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
That's...
Got sued by the Federal Trade Commission. They shut down our company. Literally came in, shut down our company, had a court order, shut down our company. We had to turn off our order processor.
Wow.
We couldn't even process orders.
They could do whatever they want at this point.
They have like pretty much police state power. They can do whatever they want. And they came in, they shut down our company. They said they hired some expert who said our software was bogus. Like, this is a software we'd spend $500,000, sweat, blood, and tears producing. Right. They said it was just making up stuff, like it wasn't real. And we're like, this is ridiculous. This is completely false. So and then on top of that, we had 10 days to fight him in court to overturn this injunction against our company. So literally, I got a legal team together of like 10 people, like literally working around the clock. And the invoice turned out to be like $200,000.
Jeez.
A 10-day period. Basically, we hired an expert who wrote 17 books on Windows to prove our product was real. Our legal team, we made an amazing case. We got all the customer testimonies together, all types of information, facts, figures, information to show in the court. And our expert witness was doing a full analysis of the program, showing, hey, it worked, and the claims that the FTC made and their pinhead expert witness made were false. Let me turn off my phone here. Give me a second. And so we went in court. It was amazing. It was like, and my attorney said, hey, this real court cases aren't like Matlock or these TV shows. They're actually really boring. It was not boring.
Why?
It was easy. Because the way it was set up, it was just basically a judge. It was just a preliminary injunction trial. It was basically a judge and no jury. And they skipped all the testimonies and everything. It was all written. All the deposition and the testimonies were all written. So it went right to cross-examination. So the whole case, the entire day, was all cross-examination.
Wow.
And it was like a movie. It was like something out of a movie. It was incredible.
Yeah, tell me about it. What
Probably like one of the most, amazing experiences in my life. Scariest, but amazing experiences in my life. So at one point, there was a funny scene where the FTC attorney comes up to me and says, hey, it's like, so you went down to see this call, like the whole case was surrounded around the practices at the call center that, we're working with this call center, one of like 20 clients. It was all focused on this call center in our software as well. Our software, we pretty much basically demolished their case. We proved that our software was real and that their expert witness was full of shit. Their expert witness had to actually recant. During cross-examination, my attorney tore him apart, had to recant and admit our software was real.
Yeah.
And so it was pretty amazing. And
wow.
There was some high fives going around after that. And so anyway, so it was this funny scene where the FTC attorney, he's cross-examining me.
You're on the stand.
I'm on the stand.
Yeah.
And he's like, you've been down to the call center, right? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's like, I've been down to the call center. Did you go to like one of the call center owners? Did you go to this guy's office and see what he had on his wall? I'm like, what do you mean? He had pictures of Scarface and all these mob movies and Godfather up there. So you're telling me you thought these guys were legit when they had pictures of mob movies on their wall? So basically, they're saying if you like mob movies, you're some kind of criminal or something. I'm like, what the hell? That was their defense.
And so you say, what do you say to that?
I didn't say that. I just said, hey, just because he likes mob movies doesn't make him a criminal, you know?
That's nuts.
So it was just crazy. And so like when their attack against our software basically fell apart, they started coming up with new stuff like, oh well, we don't like the fact your registry, you're checking this registry entry. We don't think that's that useful compared to these other ones that you're scanning for. Like really like technical, like bizarre stuff. Like they just kind of came up with that.
Grasping at straws at this point.
They're just grasping at straws. So basically we won that. It was a slam dunk. We won the preliminary injunction. But the thing is that's just a preliminary injunction. That's just to overturn getting our company shut down. So we got our company turned back on, and then there's another trial that's supposed to go on, where the real trial, which costs like millions of dollars. Now, remember, we were in a fragile financial situation at the moment.
Right.
Getting our company shut down for 3 weeks basically completely wrecked our company. So we were we had our nose above the water, you know, just like staying afloat barely.
Right.
And we're like on the upswing, and then we got sued, and then shut down our company for 3 weeks. Huge legal expenses, so couldn't pay our bills. So none of our vendors, our advertisers, returned us on. Like, dude, you owe us like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Pay up, or we're never going to work with you again. And we're like, dude, we don't have the money. We just got foobarred by the government, you know. So we couldn't turn any of our traffic on, and I had to lay off our entire staff.
Jeez.
Like first week of December.
Like developers, everyone?
Everyone.
Wow.
It sucked. I had to lay off everyone, including myself. And then because we had a company in Poland, they have like 8 weeks of severance or 6 weeks of severance. So I had to pay $80,000 to pay the severance in Poland. Otherwise, Mariusz, our director there, would have been personally liable for that, and that would have wiped him out.
Holy cow!
So,
jeez, what a tough decision.
So we won, but we actually lost. And now I'm trying to settle with the FTC because I don't want to spend $1 million fighting them in court. I have $1 million right now. And so because I'm settling with them, I have to agree to these ridiculous restrictions on what I can do. I can never promote a PC optimizer again in any way or form. So I have to...
So there's no repercussions, Amit, for the government for doing that, for falsely accusing a business and essentially shutting their business down for a period of time, which puts them out of business?
What people don't realize is federal agencies have Gestapo powers. Yeah. They can go in and do crazy shit and wreck your business in a snap of a finger, and you have literally no recourse. Like all you can do is beg for mercy.
Jeez.
You know, it's it's like something out of the medieval period. You know, it's crazy.
It is. That's crazy.
And you know, usually like people historically thought the FTC, like usually they go after people, the type of people that wake up every day and think about how they're trying to cheat their customers. You know,
right.
Now they're going after companies over technicalities. Like companies, like we had no intention of cheating anybody. We're trying to do the right thing. We're trying to, like, one of the things that we always focus on, compliance and improving the compliance of our build, and because that was a big thing in our industry. And so we were actually striving to produce better and better products and provide more value, and we still got nailed. Now I'm like super vigilant about everything I do because like if you have a testimony in your website and if it's not properly disclosed about what type of connection you have with them, then you could literally be shut down to the FTC. They can freeze your bank account, they can shut down your business, and they can wreck your entire life in the snap of a finger because you didn't follow their ridiculously complex rules for advertising and what have you.
I'm smiling because I'm like, who around the boardroom table is like, let's go after this PC optimizer company. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds like a sexy business we should like take down.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, on the flip side of things, what was the proudest moment of the company? I mean, a lot of challenges, a lot of hard times, a lot of low points that you had to deal with because of all these factors. But what was one of the proudest moments?
I think it was in 2013 when we actually were growing, and we actually brought the whole team together for the first team meeting. And my business partner and I, we sat down and we told stories about like all the stuff we went through to build a company, and we created this amazing vision. We all met at my place in the city, and that was probably my proudest moment. Like when we actually had finally made it, we'd gotten to the point where we had this amazing team, we created great things, and we had a great future ahead of us.
Yeah,
that was probably my proudest moment.
So
there's other things that happened too in 2014 that made things 10 times harder. Not only was I dealing with all this bad stuff happening in 2014, my business partner completely checked out that year. Like, he took the entire month. He decided, like, when the company was losing $5,000 a day, he was going to go adopt a child.
Wow.
And disappear for a month. And I'm like, dude, like, we're losing $5,000 a day. I kind of need your help. And boom, he was gone. Kind of checked out of the company, and I had to basically run the whole company on myself. That's why I was under tremendous stress in 2014.
Yeah. That's to put it lightly. What
like
makes you...
I think he just cracked under the pressure because it was a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
You know, like you were saying, like, why didn't you have a heart attack? I mean, there was a lot of pressure. So,
what made you write the book? Most people are like, hey, I'm done with this. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. And then you detail a lot of these challenges and really low points, hard times that most people don't even want to talk about in your book, from 0 to 12 million to bust. What made you decide to write the book?
I think my story was important enough. I had to share it.
I mean, it is important, but important enough, it still means you have to put these low points and challenges and hard times and think about them and then actually put them on paper.
I think that process was actually kind of healing,
It was.
Just getting out in paper and it kind of helped me put it behind me.
Jeez. I mean...
And also it was an educational experience for me. I wanted to learn everything I could from the experiences I had.
Yeah.
Because it was a $10,000,000 learning experience. It was an education in the school of hard knocks.
Seriously. I have one last question. I want you to talk about what you're working on now, but before I do, just tell people, let's point people, where can they find out more? Where should they check out the book and any other places?
Yeah, if you want to grab a free copy of the book, you go to profitswami.com. That's profitswami.com. And you can grab a free copy. Or you can go to Amazon and type in, from 0 to 12 million to bust, and you can buy a copy. I think it's $9.97.
Yeah. And then what you're working on now?
I'm working on a couple things. I'm working with, I'm taking on a couple selected clients I'm working with, and who want help, growing and scaling the company based on, my experience of everything I've done.
Yeah.
And I'm also launching a workshop called the 10X Growth Hacker Workshop here in Boston. And I'm working with a guy named Dimitri from a blog called Criminally Prolific. Mm-hmm. And so we're teaming up. He's a wizard at PR and SEO, and I'm good at paid search. And we're bringing on 2 other guys who are good at to also teach at the workshop. And one guy is a wizard at B2B lead generation. The other guy is a master at email. So we've got a lot of different angles and strategies covered.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be very different than any other workshop that's been done in the startup world, in the sense that we're going to limit participation only 30 people, and we're going to give a lot of one-on-one. We're going to go through everyone's business on pretty much like everyone goes up, presents their business, and we're going to tear it apart and kind of create a blueprint for them. And then even follow up with them to help them make sure they execute the blueprint, the growth strategy, the 10X Growth Hacker blueprint that we're going to build for them, and then execute that and help them grow their company, And this is, we're not going to take any equity from anyone or anything, but it's just going to be a high-level personalized attention. And this is for the companies that, can't afford to hire a growth hacking consultant and pay tens of thousands of dollars,
right,
but want that level of attention and personalization to help their specific company build a growth strategy that's going to help them grow.
Yeah. So basically, these people come. You'll have a panel, a team of experts, basically giving people all the strategies and the blueprint in that portion of their company, so that they kind of get a full circle view to build their company.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at their business, everyone's business, and what's going to be kind of cool is that everyone in the audience is going to see as we develop strategies for one business after another.
Yeah.
So you can be sitting in the audience and maybe we haven't talked about your business yet, but you'll see how, the other guy's business, how we built a strategy for him, and you're going to learn the whole process of growth hacking in a very deep way.
Mm-hmm. So people can check that out at 10x Growth Hacker.
Yeah, 10xgrowthhacker.com.
.com. Got it. I really appreciate you being so open and share. It's rare that someone is so open about everything in their business, and from the ups to the downs. And it's really super valuable to hear about this, so that people can learn of what things they should be doing or not doing. What should we leave people with to end? If you were to we talked about a lot of different things, challenges, ups and downs. What message should we leave them with?
Yeah, I don't know if anyone in the audience has ever read the book Master Key to Riches by Napoleon Hill. They talk about the process of facing failure. Failure is really not fail. I don't consider it failure. I consider it a stepping stone to success, because a lot of the greatest tycoons and successful people in history that Napoleon Hill associated with, like Andrew Carnegie and stuff like that, all of them at one point or another faced tremendous failure in their life, and that was a big key for their success. Because what failure does is it breaks down all those habits, the failure habits that you might have had, and allows you to reformulate new habits, new success habits to help you go to the next level. Because sometimes you got to face failures to kind of break those patterns that you're in that are causing the failures to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Got to kind of hit those brick walls before you can bust through them.
Right.
And so I think it's Master Key to Riches by Napoleon Hill. So I highly recommend everyone read that book.
Yeah.
It's very powerful. It talks the power of what I talk about, faith, about after my business went, my affiliate business went to zero, I kept going and didn't go back to a job. Talks about the power of faith, power of overcoming failures, and power of persistence, positive mental attitude. Yeah.
Amit, thank you so much. Everyone should check out ProfitSwami.com and 10xgrowthhacker.com. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Awesome.
Thanks, Amit.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I'm feeling